the Fatal Attraction series is one step closer to its premiere on Paramount+. During Paramount Plus's Television Critics Association presentation on Monday, the network announced that its new original series, based on the iconic 1987 psychosexual thriller of the name, starring Michael Douglas and Glenn Close, will premiere with 2 episodes on Sunday, April 30th, exclusively on Paramount Plus in the US and Canada. Following the premiere, the remaining 6 episodes will be available to stream weekly on Sundays in the US and Canada, and on Mondays in the UK, Australia, Latin America, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and France. Paramount Plus also unveiled a first look at the series, which shows the love triangle between Joshua Jackson as Dan Gallagher, Amanda Peet as Beth Gallagher and Lizzy Caplan as Dan's obsessed lover Alex Forrest. In one shot, Alex appears to be in the home of Dan and Beth, staring lovingly at Dan while Beth looks at her with some skepticism. Another photo shows Dan and Alex having what appears to be a light-hearted chat on the beach with his dog. A final shot features Alyssa Giles, who plays Ellen Gallagher, looking off into the distance with a concerned look on her face. Similar to the original film, Fatal Attraction will follow Dan, a man who becomes his lover's obsession following a brief affair. The upcoming series will be a reimagining of the film as it follows 2 separate timelines, one in 2008 and the other in 2023, and explores timeless themes of marriage and infidelity through the lens of modern attitudes towards strong women, personality disorders and coercive control, the streaming service previously revealed in a press release. Showrunner Alexandra Cunningham also confirmed on Monday that the new series will be spending a lot more time with Alex and her point of view, straying away from what viewers may assume is the villain role. "I wanted us to go in a slightly different direction," Cunningham said. This reimagining of Fatal Attraction shared a lot with the iconic original film, but it also is about entitlement, midlife crisis, and how some of the sausage gets made in our broken justice system, personality disorders, isolation, father and daughters and muter. It's about how some people just can't take a win. It's about self-image and what we'll do to protect it. And also what happens when someone doesn't have one. And if we've done our job, I think that your sympathies will shift more than once. This property was ripe to be looked at in a different way, Cunningham added. In our version, it's trying to represent all of the characters' point of view as opposed to just Dan, and everyone's angle on what happens. Caplan echoed Cunningham's sentiments, telling the crowd, "The 80s audience sees this as a very binary, black and white, villain versus hero story. If you watch the movie again, I find it very, very difficult to see Alex as a straight villain, to not ask yourself as an audience member, what's going on with her? We're poised to ask more questions about characters. In this case, it's not an hour-and-a-half-long film, it's an 8-hour series. We've got lots of time to dig around into Alex's backstory, her childhood, where she's coming from, seeing things through her eyes," she explained, per ET. And yes, it's a remake, but it's really more of a jumping-off point. We're familiar with the characters, but what we're trying to do is ask the questions that would have been impossible to ask in the film because we wouldn't have had the time, and also, questions that people didn't care to ask back then. Fatal Attraction premieres Sunday, April 30th on Paramount+.